to show you something that I think is incredible, I think is stupendous, but frankly, I know that a few Fortune 500 companies like Facebook, Google, and Microsoft are all looking for this exact same thing. Are you ready? It's this. Yes, it's a key. But it's not just a key. It's opportunity. It's access. It's the ability to come to the future. And this key was actually given to me by my uncle before he died. And 2 years ago, my nephew was born. And I can't wait to give him this key. That's why I call my company Key Tech Labs. Because we're a 501(c) nonprofit bringing emerging technology straight to the hands of undercapitalized areas like Tacoma, like Marion, and like Federal Way. Do you have the... Oh. So the key factor of what we're doing here is we're actually bringing emerging tech to people, just like our last presenter with Aspire, with his Geek Bus or his Aspire Bus. We're bringing technology straight to the hands of individuals who have never touched it, and frankly, have never touched the majority of things. We're talking about schools that are underrepresented with computers that haven't even touched keyboards. I'm teaching kids not only the technology of the future, but the technology currently. Can we go to the next slide? And how will we do that is we bring technology from maker spaces with our truck straight to the kids in the classes. Now, you're probably thinking, because this always comes up, how do I actually get the equipment? What is the cost for that? Well, the answer is this, and it's pretty much, how many of us actually know what a makerspace is? Probably not even half, but I expected that in this room with a lot of tech heads. The key factor is these makerspaces go under faster than restaurants, and restaurants go under by a 30% margin. So these makerspaces are actually asking me to take their equipment to these kids, to these places, to show off this new technology, to really give people a chance to know what the products are and how to use them. That's how we provide a lean, almost non-existent cost. It cost me $5,000 to do this company, which is a nonprofit, and $2,000 of that was equipment given to me. Now, everybody knows how to make a 3D object. And I can tell you that because I'm pretty sure everybody's made a paper airplane, origami, or something stupid with a little piece of paper that they throw at their brother or sister. What I do, and what we do at Key Tech Labs, is take old tech and teach you how to do new tech with that. Origami. Can we go back? Origami, clay, 3D models. These are all the same concepts. And like we were actually talking about with our instructor with biology, he's teaching you self-replicating concepts through biology, through science that already exists, how to do something that we are planning to do in the future. Nothing is new under the sun. Everything that we're trying to develop technologically is just a hack, just something to push along a faster movement, push along a future progression. And that's what Key Tech Labs does. We bring these materials to a class, and at the end of the 3D Printing 101, each individual knows the techniques of how to build a 3D object, because they know how to build a paper 3D object, because they know how to build a clay 3D object. And this is an example of our 16-hour class that we did at the Beer and Choice Academy, where we built paper objects, turned that into clay objects, and then actually printed it with 3D objects. Did the exact same thing at the Beer and Library. And then we actually took this model after testing it and went to Seattle U, my old alumni, or alma mater, and graduated using this model to win the Social Innovation Award at SU. That's us, that's my twin. If you haven't seen, there's two of us, or two of me. Can we go to the next one? The whole purpose of what I'm doing here and what we are doing with Key Tech Labs is really teaching people that what we know now and what we know in the future does correlate. And the big technological gap that we've been talking about with science, with Aspire in Detroit, can be gapped and can be achieved actually pretty easily, as long as we provide that access, that opportunity to those individuals who are going to be our future. like these young guys. Our next class is dealing with virtual reality, bringing Google Cardboard classes or pieces straight to a Tacoma military school. It costs $65 to do that. We bring them virtual reality with $65. And that school has asked me to do that 6 times at their 6 different locations. The next objective, and it's something we implement with our tech, our emerging tech, is we're crowdfunding for the HoloLens, which I think half of you played around with. Was it cool?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're doing. We're crowdfunding to not only get the technology, but to provide that same technology to these schools that are looking for a new way to introduce STEM education, a new way to introduce teachers who can bring in something brief, something exciting that they then can take out to the new world and work with. Now, if it was just about me, if I was just talking about this would be incredibly selfish. But I know there's so much more than this, because the White House had a maker faire in 2014. I don't know about maker activity. When I say maker, I'm talking about those maker spaces. I'm talking about that revolution our last speaker just talked about, bringing individuals together to be geeks, to be smart individuals who are building something, developing for their own. And as you can see, globally, we have individuals working all around. And MIT professor provided a class called How to Make Pretty Much Anything. He provided it for MIT students who did MIT things, which was great. But then he did one more thing that was special. He brought that same class, the same resources to Ghana, to India, and to China. And do you know what happened in Ghana? An 8-year-old girl created a semiconductor that both Apple and IBM say they could not recreate. That's opportunity. That's access. And that's exactly what Key Tech Labs is already doing. And right now I want to introduce you my older brother, Russell Powers, to expand upon that idea, to increase that community, and to increase opportunity.
Thank you, Andrew. So my brother Andrew, he's a specialist when it comes to design. So he designed these programs, and he was able to, on his own, execute these many different programs. We have 2 right now. We're focused on augmented reality, virtual reality, and we're focused on 3D printing. He was able to execute this over 6 times. He was able to get paid about $250 per event. And what we are looking to do in our events is create projects that allow kids to interact with what we're teaching them. And if we can teach them and give them the resources to complete those projects, we believe that they can go on their own and continue their educations within a makerspace or with their teachers and progress to really learn the technology. So one of the things we wanted to do is we actually wanted to make it so that if any kid wants to be an entrepreneur, they have the resources available to them for free to do so. So I've started developing a couple apps. Next slide, please. I've started to develop a couple apps, and I'm still developing them, but there are apps such as a CRM. So how many people in this room have everybody's contact information in this hackathon event that's been going on for 2 days? Does anyone have everyone's contact information? No? Okay, well I'll get it for you guys, and I'm going to put it in my CRM, and I'll make it available to you guys, so you guys can contact anybody here as a resource. This is a very vital piece of technology that all businesses should use. So after we identify a project in our class and have our kids interact with the project, and we help them complete the project, we also want to give them the resources and the contacts to make sure that they can be successful as they pursue building their idea and learning their idea. We have other things like a crowdfunding site that we're developing. So not only can you do a business plan, not only can you do a project, but if this project results into something custom that you want to pursue on your own, we have the resources and you can start raising funds on our crowdfunding site. Everything we're doing is open source. There are open source projects that I'm developing, and I'm looking to learn from other developers in the community to continue to let these grow. So not only are these solutions available for free for everyone, but these solutions can be learned by those same kids. So our process is creating projects that suit specific educational purposes and using open source technology, being lean, and being able to help kids understand what they need to do to move next. One more slide, and I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and finish here. Go on to the next one, please. So we were able to work with some of the wonderful kids here yesterday that told you a little bit about their project. One of these kids had a phenomenal, actually all of these kids had phenomenal ideas, but one of them inspired me. And we decided to help. My brother sat down with each, he drew them a picture. He drew them little bullet points, trying to explain to them, okay, this is what we think your idea is. This is a conceptual design. Here you go. And from there, they continue to develop that idea. But our next step in our process is we actually go and we create and identify a project that will help them build a proof of concept for their idea. So this is a PowerPoint slide, if you can go to the next slide, that helps, that we gave to one of the kids. We gave to him what is his project and where can he go with the resources to actually get this project made. And so we just did a PowerPoint slide, a simple design, and what we hope to do next is to be able to, in an agile manner, not just create projects and help kids, but actually be able to, in a quick way, provide them with resources, provide them with tools, as well as provide them with a video. We're going to start doing YouTube channels. And we're going to provide them with a video walkthrough. And we're a nonprofit accepting donations so that we can continue to develop a community to help our kids. So that's what we're all about. And I would like to thank the kids for inspiring us. And I would like to offer to one kid in particular who we did hand this presentation to, offer the opportunity to allow us to try to make a video for how to solve his solution, how to go about a prototype, a proof of concept for his solution. And we'll provide him with references to go about further studying that solution. So I have 2 weeks available. I'll try to complete the project in around 2 weeks. But that's it. That's who we are, and thank you guys.
Those are just the steps to actually accomplish it.
Questions? Yes.
We ran out of long, so I wanted to speed things up a little bit.
Well, so just to understand it, so it's there's, what are the 2 to 3 just major building blocks or foundational blocks then of the company? There is the Maker Labs piece, there is then the
Let me run through it.
curriculum, and then the
Yes.
yes.
The key factor to what we're doing is we're working with maker spaces to provide the equipment itself to schools. And we're doing little seminars or classes to show off that equipment, to have quick little projects to assemble, create, or hack a product. Now, after that, the question is, where do you go? How do you continue this? And that's the building of the community. That's the programs online that are open source that provide anyone who has the interest after that to follow through and to connect with the larger community.
Okay, I get
That
it.
is-
So yeah, it does. I think where I was off was whether or not you guys were actually building the maker spaces, but you essentially have a curriculum and a set of tools and curriculum and machines that you take into the maker spaces, conduct the classes, and then there is a follow-on set of curriculum that either replicates that or enhances that into self-study pace, then online, and off we go.
So everything we do.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.